It was supposed to be just another routine political event. Handshakes, speeches, polite smiles, and the usual media buzz that surrounded global leaders. Nothing out of the ordinary, just another day in the high-pressure world of international diplomacy. But what happened that day on the red carpet between Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, President Trump and First Lady Melania? Trump quickly became one of the most talked-about moments in international politics, and not for the reasons anyone could have predicted. The setting was glamorous, yet formal. Flags fluttering in the breeze, security guards stationed at every corner, and cameras flashing from every direction. World leaders were arriving one by one at the G7 summit, a gathering meant to discuss serious issues like trade, climate change, and global cooperation. Yet somehow, all of that faded into the background the moment Justin Trudeau's motorcade pulled up. The door of the sleek black car opened, and out stepped Trudeau, looking every bit the picture of calm confidence. His suit was perfectly tailored, his tie neatly in place, and his posture effortlessly poised. The Canadian Prime Minister was known for his easy charm and warm demeanour, the kind that made photographers rush to capture his every move. As he adjusted his jacket and waved toward the crowd, there was a subtle sense of star power in the air, as though a Hollywood actor had just arrived on set. President Trump stood a few steps ahead, arms crossed, projecting his usual aura of authority and control. The two leaders had shared a complicated relationship, firm handshakes, sharp words, and a constant undercurrent of competition whenever they appeared together. But this time, the tension between them wasn't what caught everyone's attention. All eyes, surprisingly, were on Melania Trump, dressed in an elegant white outfit that reflected sophistication and grace. The First Lady stood beside her husband, maintaining her poised, reserved expression as the cameras clicked. But as Trudeau approached, something unexpected happened. Melania's demeanour softened. Her face lit up with a warm, genuine smile, the kind that instantly captured hearts and lenses alike. For a brief moment, time seemed to stand still. The world's media, which had gathered to document another diplomatic handshake, suddenly found itself witnessing a moment far more human and spontaneous. And what happened next? That single exchange of smiles and glances would go on to dominate headlines around the globe. As Trudeau approached, Melania Trump's entire expression changed, and it happened so subtly that only the cameras caught it first. The usually composed and distant First Lady, known for her calm, unreadable poise, suddenly lit up with a warm, radiant smile. It wasn't the polite, practiced smile she often gave during official events. It was genuine, soft, glowing, and completely natural. It was the kind of smile that made people stop scrolling and say, "Wait, what was that?" Trudeau extended his hand, and Melania reached out gracefully to greet him. For just a few seconds, the world seemed to slow down. The exchange was simple, a handshake, a smile, and a few friendly words. But the chemistry of that moment was undeniable. Cameras clicked furiously as Melania leaned slightly toward Trudeau, her eyes bright and animated, while Trudeau, as always, responded with his trademark charm and confident ease. Meanwhile, President Trump stood just a few steps away. His expression was difficult to read, a mixture of focus, formality, and perhaps a touch of impatience. The contrast between his stern posture and the warmth of the moment playing out beside him only made the scene more intriguing. Within minutes, that single frame, Melania smiling brightly at Trudeau while Trump looked on, began spreading like wildfire online. News outlets posted the photo almost instantly, but it was on social media where things truly erupted. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook lit up with users sharing the image, zooming in, analysing every expression, and adding their own captions. People couldn't resist commenting. "Did you see that look?" one user tweeted. "Melania just forgot Trump was there," another joked. And perhaps the most viral comment of all, "Trudeau wins again, with one smile." At first, it was all light-hearted fun. But as the photo gained traction, the internet did what it always does. It turned the moment into a global phenomenon. Memes flooded timelines everywhere. Some users photoshopped Melania and Trudeau into romantic movie posters like The Notebook and Titanic. Others added slow-motion filters, soft background music, and captions like, "When diplomacy turns into destiny." What began as an innocent handshake quickly transformed into one of the most viral political moments of the year. Proof that sometimes all it takes is one smile to steal the entire show. President Trump's reaction during that moment quickly became almost as famous as the moment itself. Every camera angle, every expression, every blink was analyzed and replayed by millions online. Some reporters swore they saw Trump's jaw tighten just slightly as Trudeau and Melania exchanged their now famous smiles. Others claimed he forced a grin, a quick practiced gesture that didn't quite reach his eyes. Whatever the truth, one thing everyone agreed on: President Trump did not look amused. Behind the scenes, insiders claimed Trump brushed it off, calling the whole frenzy media nonsense. According to sources close to the event, he laughed it away publicly, but those who knew him best said he wasn't thrilled about all the attention Trudeau was suddenly getting, and especially not attention that involved Melania. For a man who always demanded to be the center of the spotlight, this unexpected viral moment may have hit a nerve. Meanwhile, Justin Trudeau handled the entire situation with effortless grace. When reporters inevitably asked about the viral photo, he just chuckled and said, "It's always a pleasure to see our American friends." His calm, diplomatic tone only added to his charm. Trudeau had mastered the art of deflecting questions with politeness, and his answer left everyone smiling. Though it didn't do much to stop the wildfire of speculation spreading across the internet. While politicians stayed quiet, the online world had already decided to write its own story. Fans and critics alike turned into detectives, zooming into screenshots, dissecting body language, and posting theories in comment sections. Some praised Melania, saying her genuine warmth toward Trudeau was refreshing and revealed a side of her that the world rarely saw. Others argued that her expression said more than words ever could, a silent statement of comfort in the presence of a leader who treated her with respect and dignity. And, of course, the internet being the internet, conspiracy theories began to spiral out of control. Was Melania sending a secret message? Is she tired of being in Trump's shadow? Did Trudeau know exactly what he was doing? Each theory seemed more dramatic than the last. But one thing was undeniable. That single smile had completely overshadowed every policy announcement, every diplomatic handshake, and every speech at the G7 summit. For once, it wasn't the politics that dominated the headlines, it was the people behind them. For weeks, the headlines just wouldn't fade. Every major outlet, from political networks to entertainment magazines, kept replaying that single moment between Melania Trump and Justin Trudeau. It became one of those rare stories that crossed every boundary. Politics, pop culture, and gossip. Every time Melania appeared in public, reporters tried to bring it up. "Mrs. Trump, what did you really think of Justin Trudeau? Was that smile as spontaneous as it looked?" But the First Lady never answered. She walked past the flashing cameras with her usual grace, never acknowledging the chaos her smile had caused. Her silence only added to the mystery, making the world even more curious. For months, speculation swirled, until one elegant evening changed everything. It was a charity gala in Washington, attended by diplomats, celebrities, and philanthropists. The room sparkled with chandeliers, laughter, and champagne glasses. When Melania took the stage to give a short speech about children's education and kindness, the crowd listened attentively. Her calm voice filled the hall, composed, measured, and unmistakably confident. Then, as the Q&A session began, a reporter from the audience asked the question everyone had been dying to hear. "Mrs. Trump, the photo with Prime Minister Trudeau became one of the most talked about pictures of the year. How do you feel about all the attention it got?" The room fell silent. For a few seconds, you could almost hear the click of cameras preparing to capture her every word. Melania paused, smiled softly, and replied, "Sometimes people read too much into a smile. Kindness is universal." And that's all it was. The audience chuckled, but her words carried unmistakable weight. In that single sentence, she managed to address the rumor, dismiss the gossip, and remind everyone of her poise, all without sounding defensive or dismissive. It was a masterclass in elegance and control. By the next morning, her quote was everywhere. Headlines praised her calm and class. Commentators called it a perfect diplomatic response. Social media buzzed again, but this time with admiration instead of mockery. She hadn't denied anything, and she hadn't fanned the flames. She simply owned the story. That night, Melania Trump reminded the world that true power often speaks softly. And sometimes, just one poised sentence can silence 1,000 rumors. Years later, that single photo still refuses to fade from the public's memory. It continues to circle around social media feeds, appear in top viral moments compilations, and pop up in online discussions every time world leaders meet. Not because it was scandalous or controversial, but because it revealed something surprisingly rare in the often cold, scripted world of politics: a genuine, human connection caught on camera. The image of Melania Trump smiling warmly at Justin Trudeau became more than just a photograph. It became a symbol of authenticity. It reminded people that behind every title, every political handshake, and every carefully crafted speech, there are real emotions and unscripted reactions. In that fleeting instant, the mask of formality slipped, and what remained was something completely natural: a simple moment of warmth and humanity. Melania's smile toward Trudeau wasn't about flirtation or calculated diplomacy. It wasn't about stealing attention or sparking controversy. It was about a rare spark of sincerity in an environment built on protocol. In a sea of stiff greetings and rehearsed gestures, her expression stood out as effortlessly genuine. People connected with it because it felt real. And in the age of perfect public images, authenticity is powerful. As for President Trump and Prime Minister Trudeau, their complex dynamic continued long after that summit. They clashed over trade policies, disagreed publicly on environmental issues, and occasionally exchanged sharp words on social media. The rivalry between the two leaders was political theatre in itself, two strong personalities constantly competing for dominance on the global stage. Yet, despite their differences, the Trudeau-Melania moment became an unexpected cultural snapshot of that era, capturing how human stories can overshadow even the biggest political debates. Years later, journalists, photographers, and even meme creators still revisit that image, dissecting its meaning and impact. It serves as a timeless reminder of how, in today's world, where every glance is magnified and every gesture is analyzed, even the smallest expression can become a worldwide headline. In the end, maybe Justin Trudeau did try to outshine President Trump that day with his trademark charm and charisma. But in a twist no one saw coming, it was Melania Trump, with one graceful, unexpected smile, who truly stole the spotlight and turned a simple greeting into a lasting piece of modern political history.